Hello and welcome to part 1 of the WebTitan tutorial video series. In this video I'll be taking you through the procedure for installing WebTitan version 5 from the ISO. This procedure will be the same regardless of whether you're using VMware, Hyper-V, Xen, VirtualBox or installing on hardware. Let's get started. There are 6 steps involved. Step 1, choosing your keyboard layout. Step 2, setting the server hostname. Step 3, disk partitioning, which will be carried out automatically by the installer. Step 4, configuring your network settings. Step 5, selecting your time zone and setting the clock. And step 6 is simply copying the files to the server, which is carried out by the installer. This is simply a welcome screen. Just press return to continue. This is where we select our default or keyboard layout. The default layout will be US. If you wish to select a different keyboard layout, you can use the up and down arrows or page up, page down to select the keyboard layout appropriate for you. I'll select UK. Simply press return to select. You can test the keyboard layout if you wish to make sure the symbols are mapped correctly. Other than that, select continue and press return. This is where we set the server host name. We would recommend using a fully qualified domain name. Edit as required and press return to continue. This is where the disk is partitioned. As I mentioned previously, this is carried out automatically by the installer. It doesn't matter which option you choose, the partitioning will be automatic and the entire disk will be used. This starts the network configuration. If you have multiple network cards in your machine, you get to select which one you wish to use. Use the up and down arrows to select the network card and return to continue. This is where we set the IP address, subnet mask and default router. You can use the up and down arrow keys to move between the fields if you wish to edit a mistake. Press Tab to move between the major fields. Select OK and press return to continue. This is where we enter our DNS servers. We would recommend using 2 DNS servers for redundancy. If your machine is set to universal time, you can select yes here. If you're not sure or you want to select your own time zone, simply use the arrow keys to move to no and press return. Select your continent and select your country. The files will now be copied to the hard disk. When the procedure is complete, you'll be prompted to reboot. If you're using hardware, you'll need to remove the CD from the CD-ROM drive. Same if on a virtual machine, just remove the CD, let the machine reboot, and the install procedure is then complete. I'll just skip forward to the end of this procedure. When all the files are copied to the disk, there's a few final settings to be tuned, and then the server is ready to reboot. Once the server is rebooted, you should be able to access the web interface using the IP address you configured. You can log on with the default username and password of admin and hiadmin, HIADMIN. Simply press return to reboot, and that's the installation complete. Thanks for taking the time to go through this video. Please continue on to part 2.